Welcome to Tress Talk with Gerdie, your weekly dose of hair, beauty, education, business, wellness, and of course, faith. My name is Gerdie Renee Gordon, but you can call me Gigi because we're friends. I started Tress Talk with Gerdie because I recognize that there are a lot of conversations being had surrounding our hair, our scalp, how we care for our hair and scalp, and I find that a lot of misinformation is out there. So because I've been a 25-year veteran in this industry, I felt the need to add my voice to the conversation to be able to provide another aspect to help us on this journey. I've been a business owner for many years, and I've been able to successfully navigate both working behind a chair and being able to operate and run a business. I'm proud to say that my business has won Best Salon in Queens for the past 4 years in a row. No easy feat, but by God's grace, it's happened, and I'm so grateful to be able to use this platform to be able to get more of the information and our experiences out there. So in Tress Talk with Gerdie, you're going to get a lot of tips and information on proper hair care and also focusing on your scalp. As a business owner, understanding the ins and outs of running a successful business and being able to navigate these rocky waters of business ownership while also owning the business and working behind the chair. In addition to that, as a woman of faith, I don't separate the two. My faith fuels everything that I do. That is my point of departure, and I believe that's been a major, if not the only component to my success. Otherwise, I'm a hot mess. So welcome to Tress Talk with Gerdie. I'm so glad that you are here, and I'm honored and look forward to taking this journey with you. In this week's episode, we are going to go over the first of a two-part series where I invited several guests of the salon and we discussed natural hair, our natural hair journeys, how it's been, what we're doing, and what we hope will come of what's happening, that this is not necessarily a movement or a fad or a phase, but natural hair is here to stay. The good thing is that we're able to be very real and break down the different stereotypes, stigmas, and what we go through, not only on a macro level as women of color, but individually and personally what happens. So I rounded up a diverse group of guests of the salon, and we have a candid conversation about our journey with natural hair, the joys of it, the pitfalls, and just our experiences. And so I hope that you get some insight and it helps you along with your natural hair journey. Ladies, when we talk about natural hair, what does that mean to you?
To me, natural hair is hair that does not have chemicals or the harsh additives that are in, like, say, things that would straighten or curl.
Okay.
That's what natural hair is to me.
Okay.
It's the state that God had the hair growing out my head. This is how my hair grows out of my scalp. I mean, we can do the coming to America, juices and berries thing. That's natural, but that's what natural hair means to me.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah. To piggyback off of that, I think I agree. So natural hair is the natural state of how God created our hair.
Natural hair is the natural texture of your hair, the state that it's in when you were born.
So, one of the biggest things is language, where a lot of people are saying natural, and oftentimes I'll ask to clarify, what do you mean by natural? Some people, they are saying natural when they really just mean unrelaxed, as opposed to people who don't want to do anything additional to their hair. So you're natural if you don't do color, you don't do different stylings that's manipulating your own texture to achieve another texture. So it's really important that we make sure that we're on top of what natural means, because it means different things to different people, and we don't want to assume that just because someone's hair is textured that they're actually natural.
Because I'm wearing my hair in its natural state, but you colored it, so it's color natural.
Well, you can say that. However, I would, what I normally would say is that you're unrelaxed. And so with regard to even as we were discussing curl types, it's important to remember that none of us are one type. While I appreciate Andre Walker and bringing up the typing system, a lot of people fall victim, for lack of a better word, to thinking that they are one type, and they're always asking the question, well, what is my type? I think I'm 4C. And I always encourage us to look at it as a guide to help along a paradigm to see, okay, where you might fall. But in my 25 years of experience behind the chair, I find that nobody has one actual hair type. All of us have different types happening in our hair concurrently at the same time. And so it's important to not necessarily focus on what your hair type is, but what works for your hair and how you want to wear it. Say, for instance, you have what's considered 4C hair, but you're not necessarily a fan of wearing 4C styles. You would want something where you elongate your hair or you do different styles to stretch the hair out, and that's okay. And so I encourage you not to fall into the trap of thinking you have to be one specific hair type. Something else that is important to mention is that we want to be mindful on how natural is represented in media. Oftentimes, our really tightly coiled hair types are not represented at all. And if they are represented, they're not represented in a great light. You find that people will always want to do something with their edges. And as you can see what Jasmine was saying, it's so true. She understands that she prefers a smooth edge. However, some people are okay with not having smooth edges if their hair does not allow for doing that. And we want to be able to embrace that and celebrate that as well. Understanding also that with being natural and wanting to express curlier hair or different textured hair, that some people are using clip-ins and other augmentations to put in. So then that begs the question on, are you actually natural? You know, and so once again, we have these conversations, and to not use this as another tool to divide us as women of color, but to be able to celebrate our hair however we want to wear it.
I've ever endeavored to try doing a wash and go, but for purposes of respecting language, we're going to term it a cleanse and go. Okay. How many of you really can just cleanse and go?
Not me. I cannot. I would look homeless sometimes.
Exactly. I think it's not knowing how to. I think you see it. You see people do it on social media. You see them do it on YouTube. And then for me personally, when I actually try it, it looks nothing like that. So it's like, let's throw that out. I don't think I could do it washing.
So as you heard, Latoya mentioned protective styles. I cannot stand the term. It's been a hot topic for the past few years. I don't like the term because protective style insinuates that there's styles that aren't protecting, and that's a problem, both in the salon and otherwise. Anything you do to your hair, how you style it and care for it, you should want to protect it. That's one. Two, the issue with these protective styles is that it's focusing on keeping the hair out of sight, not having to do it. But one of the casualties of these protective styles is it wreaks havoc on the hairline. I have several people that come in, new clients, they come in, and when I'm doing a consultation or assessing the hair, they have a lot of long hair in the middle of their head from a year's worth of protective styling. However, their entire hairline is shot. So what do? The hairline naturally is weaker, and it's hard for that hair to come back, if at all. And so we have a growing number of women who have all of this hair in the middle of the head and their crown, and then all of the hair around is compromised, and to the point where it's irreversible. And so we have this problem where they have beautiful hair, but then don't feel confident or comfortable wearing their natural hair out because of the casualties of protective styling. And so I submit we get rid of the word and the term altogether, and to just take an approach on whatever it is that you're doing to your hair. You want to make sure you maintain the integrity of the hair, and any styling that goes against that, to stay away from.
A lot of women of color want to wear their natural hair, but for the sake of, like you said, like for time. I know for me personally, for my lifestyle, I can't take 4 hours at night prepping my hair just to, you know, look presentable like the next morning. But there could be something, or just like a routine that could work for me. And I think that just being able to take that time out to learn how to wear my hair, learning how to cut down on the time that it takes to prep my hair, like if we knew that, just kind of like that type of consultation, that type of education, because we've been without our natural selves for a long time because of the mentality, and now that we're tapping into it, we really don't even know how to do it. So I think that that's a big part.
Absolutely. And to your point, Latoya, y'all don't know, but she has a beautiful head of all natural
And this
hair.
is beautiful too.
Natural under here, but it's relaxed here.
Ooh, girl.
It's, yeah, I put chemicals on the edges because it's like for certain styles or for like for certain times, I want it to be slick. It's like that. I still have that mentality of where, you know, I want it. I don't want it to be peasy. Like I feel there's something wrong. So I do the front, and then everything else is natural. Even though I still, like you said, I don't know how to work with it. That's why I resorted to protective style. And then sometimes I'll just like cut it off and start again, because I still don't take care of my natural hair underneath here, and it gets like matted and stuff. So I feel like I've kind of just been like that for a while, where I don't pay enough attention to my hair. And then I went through a period of paying attention, and I started, you know, doing the twist outs and stuff like that. And it was like an all day Sunday. and then after that, kind of just stopped, and then I cut it off, and then now I'm satisfied, I feel like, with this, but I still, and I do like the lathe in the front. I do. Not that I always gel it though, but I like the look.
Do you notice how Jasmine almost was apologetic about her preference? You know, that she was talking, but she was kind of apologizing for the fact that she wanted to put faux locks in her hair, the fact that she relaxes her hairline because she likes to sculpt and have it smooth. And it really struck a chord with all of us here on how even in our own, what's real for us, what our truth is, because of the stigma associated with, on the other end, people who are natural are starting to classify or judge people as not being natural enough, or wanting to dictate how you show up as a natural. And we don't want to do that. We want to stay away from that. But I found it remarkable how even in Jasmine's explanation, it's almost that she was looking for our approval for what she chose to do with her own hair. And so it's very real. I come across a lot of guests who come in and want to embrace their natural, aren't quite sure. And I do believe it's part of my due diligence as a professional to be able to not only help on this journey, but to also affirm what you're working with, you know, with regard to your hair, how it comes out. So don't be apologetic on how you want to wear your hair, relaxed, natural, or otherwise.
I think it comes from what's considered a social norm. Like for me, I've been natural probably about this time, about 2 years. I went back to a relaxer because it was just too difficult for me. I didn't have the right products. But I noticed when I had my hair straight, I got more compliments. So then when it was natural, there were less compliments. Luckily, I don't care about people's opinion, but it's those social norms that say, well, wait, people were complimenting me more when I had my hair straight. Maybe I should have it straight. Like those stigmas, they can happen. Because one older lady told me, well, you need a perm. Like legit just told me straight out, like we're cool like that. But she just legit like, no, I think your hair. And I said, well, wait a minute, my hair looks all right. And she's like, no. And I said, well, this is how, again, my hair grows out of my head, and this is how I'm going to have my hair. And I actually like my little fro. And she didn't say anything else because she got it. But again, it's like processed or not. Like when I had the relaxer, it's like, oh, you look so nice. Like what in people's head says, well, this looks better than this. This is how God created me. This is how my crown rolls out of my head. Why do I have to straighten it for you to think I'm more attractive? But those, again, are those social norms.
Woo-wee! As you can see, that it can get pretty intense, you know, discussing these social norms and what's expected of our beauty. And, you know, beauty is, I know it sounds cliche, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I also think beauty is what we have within us that speaks to our truth, you know, and so you don't want to be apologetic about it. You don't want to feel that you have to conform to these social norms that we have happening right now, both within our community and without. And so I was happy that we were able to have this space to get very candid about not only natural, but our natural hair journeys.
There are some major themes in natural hair that we hear over and over again. So I wanted to provide a quick reference to allow you to understand what is what and not be confused. Andre Walker's originally created the typing system to be able to give us a nice gauge on determining what your hair type is. As I said before in our video and in the interview, no one head of hair is all one type. We all have a combination of different curl types and textures. By type, we have it going from 1 through 4, 1 being straight hair, 2 being wavy hair, 3 being curly hair, and 4 being coily. A subsection of the typing, which would refer to more so to texture, are A, which would be a wider pattern in your curl, B, medium, and C, small. So we have 1A, 1B, 1C, 2A, 2B, 2C. In 3, we only have 3A and 3B. In 4, we have 4A, 4B, and 4C. Like I said, do not get tied into thinking you are one hair type, but rather have an understanding of the different hair types and what they entail so that it will help in knowing what products you use to help. Next, we have protective hairstyles. It's a term widely used. However, I understand the premise is to be able to protect your natural hair. I'm not a fan of it because most of the time this protective styling compromises the hairline and leads to breakage, sometimes irreversible breakage and damage to the hairline in particular. So I'm not a fan. I think all styling should have protection of the hair and scalp at heart. And so there's no need for specific protective styling, in my opinion. Lastly, I have the common words that are used throughout the natural hair community and their actual definitions, just as a resource, especially for those of you who are newly transitioning into being a natural. I really hope this helps and that you find it very useful along your hair journey.
In next week's episode, we go even deeper as each woman shares their individual and personal hair journey. The highs, the lows, what caused them to actually start this journey, where they are now, and what they hope to achieve moving forward. This is really pivotal in our climate right now, especially with the passing of the Crown Act. We go over that, and we really get into how our journeys affect us as individuals, but as a community collectively.
Let's take a moment to appreciate all the ways our natural hair can be styled, all the different textures and tones that you can see throughout these pictures. We have twists, we have really tightly coiled hair, we have colorful hair. You're able to see that for both men and women, you can get great styling as long as you make sure to be with someone that's going to provide optimal care for not only your hair, but for your scalp. Scalp health is very important. In these styles, we see that the ranges in curl go from really, really loose, wavy, curly, coily, and kinky. We love all of them. You can achieve it with working with the way the hair naturally comes out of the head to give you your natural curl pattern. And as I said before, no one person has one hair type in their head. We all have a mixture of different hair types. Certain parts of our hair can be very tight. Other parts of our hair can be rather loose. So we see here the hair with coils, twists, 2-strand twists. We have braids, we have cornrows, and then we have those baddies that are embracing short crops. Short, tapered, we call them bald baddies as well. And with maintaining your natural hair, you're able to really experiment with and play with different colors, nice updos, pin-ups. You can also wear the hair out and down. Look at this beautiful twist out. These curls happen to be a little looser. And little Peyton here has very loose, wavy curls. But we make sure to hydrate and keep her ends trimmed. And once again, focus on scalp health. You want to take time out to make sure that the curls are nourished, that you're moisturizing, that you're giving yourself, or if you go to be serviced, nice hydration treatments. When doing different styles and pinups, you want to make sure that you're not pulling the hair too tight. You're working with the person's natural hair to be able to enhance and not harm. A lot of times we do these styles as a means of not only being stylish, but making sure to protect our hair. And so it's important you don't compromise the integrity of the hair to achieve a style. Make sure that when you're doing your own hair, or if you choose to go get your hair serviced, that you're ensuring that you're not pulling the hair anywhere on the head, but especially around the hairline. The hairline in general can be weaker, the hair can be finer, and it is prone to breaking easier. So you want to be mindful not to do that. You can really push the parameters and experiment with great color. Using different tools such as this twisted up comb really helps, along with the product choice, to bring out and enhance even more of your natural curl. Making sure with your children that you're also giving them cute styles, but you're not pulling the hair and causing unnecessary damage. We love a client selfie. Go ahead, ladies. So as you can see, with your natural hair styling, you have so many options. Up, down, pinned. You can augment with other natural hair. You can wear your natural curls. Whatever it is, express yourself without compromising any of your hair's integrity. Embrace your natural. Do what works for you. Love your hair, love your scalp. Massage your hair, massage your scalp, and you will see the difference. Color is always a great statement. And at the end of the day, choose styles that allow you to smile, smile, smile. Embrace your natural. Love your hair. Be good to your hair, and it will be good to you.
Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to tune in Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on the Inspired Living Network. Also be sure to bring a friend and we can have a watch party. If you haven't already, subscribe Tress Talk with Gerdie on YouTube. I appreciate you and look forward to seeing you next week.